in my ear. They're like, gotta scrap it.
You're kidding.
They're like, we gotta scrap it. Sorry. And they
just wheel you off.
They wheeled you
Wheeled me
off.
Stop.
and I'm just standing on, and I was so upset. This was gonna be historic. Like, I want to make history.
Damn.
And it was even worse because I got a bunch of messages from people afterwards who was like, I couldn't hear you. Well, yeah, no performance happened, brother. Like,
Well, we're rolling.
We are rolling.
Welcome back, guys, to Sorry We're Cyrus. Still in Nashville.
Still in Nash.
Still loving it.
I am still loving it.
And this week we have Breland as our special guest.
Woo! Yes.
And he said he's known to turn up, so things might get crazy.
it might. I don't. And
I
then
wanna
if it
turn
doesn't,
up.
then people are going to be like, I thought he was going to turn up. So now
See, your audio level went up like 12 just then.
at
I
least
know.
12 dBs.
I
It's
love
okay.
a good turn up.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
I don't know this, but now I'm
Yeah.
finding this out.
Yeah, well, the crash course here is that this podcast used to be called Sorry We're Stoned.
Yep, I recall.
Because my mother was a very big stoner. She is at heart, but she's not smoked weed since April. She's
Okay.
been on a health journey, if you will.
Wow, okay.
A mental health journey,
I guess.
sort of both.
Yeah.
And hasn't smoked since. And she's doing great now, which we love.
Okay.
But she's itching to get back on the marijuana train.
You
Yeah.
feel like maybe after a year, maybe April?
That could be good.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Because,
just.
April showers bring May flowers.
Oh, I love that.
I like that.
That would be the best birthday present ever.
Oh, yeah, her birthday's in May.
Oh, wow. We have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That's a must.
Yeah.
I know.
But it's so crazy because let me just tell you, like, I love weed.
Yeah.
And it is one of God's best creations.
We know this is your motto.
It is my motto. And it just started giving me body.
Mm.
So I had to take a break. So I'm praying when I start back that it doesn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like maybe also depends kind of what strain.
Yeah.
Also, I think where your head is at when you're smoking
Mhm.
It's
is a
true.
factor,
It's
Mhm.
true.
So if you're anxious before you smoke weed,
I know.
you're probably still going to be anxious when you smoke weed, maybe more anxious.
I know. That's the thing is because now I associate it a little bit with it making me anxious.
Okay.
And that's freaking me out because I definitely miss it a lot.
I miss it for you.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was just like the best it was the best 10 years of my life.
My God.
I believe that with everything that I
You
am.
know-
That's your whole childhood, everything.
No, she
that's-
started smoking. How old were you? 40?
Oh, I know. She was saying
Late
that
40s.
the 10 years where she was
Oh,
smoking
yeah,
were the
that's
best.
what I'm saying. Forget about us.
I know.
Literally, like, forget all of us. The best part was when we left and she started smoking weed.
I mean, it was great.
Did you see the writing on the wall? Like, was there a point where you were like, she's about to start getting into weed, or was it a surprise to
she
you?
was so against it.
So against
Like,
it.
to
You were
the point-
anti-weed, and then you.
Very anti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just tell you, like I surpassed them all once I started smoking.
Wow.
She did.
I was
Because it was also probably years of buildup,
Mm.
anticipation.
Yeah.
Well, what's the big idea about all this smoking?
Yeah.
And then you finally tried
I
it.
smoked to be able to. It's at the Stoners. Our fans are called the Stoners,
They're still stoners.
and they have heard the story many times. But I was on tour with Molly and on a brand new tour bus, and my tour bus caught on fire and burned to the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was crazy. It was within 5 minutes, the whole thing was just gone with everything I owned in
Goodness.
it. And so we were kind of at the start of the tour, and I couldn't sleep. And so Molly was like, somebody gave me Ambien, and it made me feel really crappy the next day. And so Molly was like, Mom, I promise you, just take a couple hits of weed. You'll be able to sleep. You'll be relaxed and whatever. And then I was like, yeah, this is
Gateway
great.
drug.
Okay.
This is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, kids, if your daughter putting you onto that is pretty iconic.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But wait, did we introduce him properly?
No, I was just letting you do your little cold open. I
Okay.
kind of liked him.
This
so
is
far,
this
so.
is turning into one of the warmer opens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
actually.
nice.
Okay, if you want to do the complete intro, since I've just taken over and done my I do the I miss weed every episode
She
now.
really does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
It's gonna be back soon.
I'm counting down the months.
Yeah.
3
If
months.
I'm gonna
It'd be a
try,
miracle if she makes it that long.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Truly.
like.
I'm gonna get a text from you like 3 days
Yeah.
from now and be like, she caved.
Yeah.
Yep. We sent her over the edge. We did. Well, stoners, I would love to introduce you to Breland. Not only are you an incredible music artist, but we're friends too.
Yes.
How long have we known each other now?
Probably a good 4 years.
It's been a hot minute. Yeah. I feel like obviously like AJ is our big connect.
Yes.
He and AJ are buds. But also like Sam Hunt. I feel like when I was hanging out with Sam Hunt and co, like you were in that crew.
Definitely.
Which we'll get to your guys' collab in a little bit. But Breland has an incredible voice. I've heard you perform live a couple times, and
thank you.
you are like, I was telling my mom,
You
like you have
did.
perfect pitch. Like your voice is just so
I do not have perfect pitch.
incredible.
Let me be clear. Perfect pitch is a thing that some musicians have where
I
you
feel
can
like
play
you
a note
have
and be
it.
like, is this, and I could tell you what note it is, what chord it is with no other reference. I do not have perfect pitch,
Well, here's
You're
the thing.
close.
but I have strong pitch.
You do.
I have some pitch.
Okay. Well, like Brandi is like she is a tough critic, and for her to say that, you are.
Am I?
Yeah, you are
About something.
about everything. When Brandi gives somebody a compliment, I'm like, whoa, they must be like really great.
Wow.
Well,
like-
okay.
now it means even more. Yeah, I was already taking it to heart, but now it means even more.
Seriously,
Knowing this.
I'm like, oh, Brandi saying that means it's like for reals.
Thank
All right.
you.
Well, there you go. Wow. I didn't even know what kind of compliment I was giving
Yeah.
you. But you are in the country genre.
Yeah.
But you're definitely like defying what that means, and you definitely have blends of many different styles of music and what you do, which I think
Absolutely.
is so cool.
Thank you.
And I would love for you to tell us kind of like how you got into music. Did you grow up in music and
Yeah.
how you got started? Because you've had some incredible collabs. You have 1.2 billion streams in my notes. It says
Quite a number.
you've been on some incredible tours, played some sickening shows, and we would love to hear your story about how you got from there to here.
Yeah. I guess it kind of all starts back as a child. My parents are singers. They kind of semi-pro, more in church, but they used to record music and write music when I was a kid. And funny story, when I was a kid, one of my friends was like trying to like, I don't know, ruin my innocence. And he was like, do you know what your parents do? Like when you go to sleep? And I was like, yeah, they make music. And he was like, that's not what they're doing. I know what parents do. And I was like, I had this whole, I don't know why that memory just popped into my head, but
That's so funny.
That is
yeah,
funny.
my parents they used to make music.
Wow.
And so they would write and record, and I would watch them do that, and they would have me sing backgrounds with them, and I was featured on their album when I was a little kid. So those were some really formative experiences for me. Really a lot of gospel music,
Mhm.
a lot of worship music, and ended up going to boarding school for high school.
Okay.
So I was living on a campus,
Wow.
not terribly far from home, but I did do the full experience moving out at 14. And
And were you excited about that, or did that feel like something you didn't want to do?
no, it was my
It was your idea.
Yeah.
Because we always got threatened with the you're going to boarding school.
Yeah, I think boarding school has a connotation that isn't
Yeah.
really accurate. Like the connotation behind boarding school tends to be
Like
that
a
it's
punishment or
yeah,
something.
like it's a punishment somewhere where bad kids go. That, you know,
Totally.
it's some sort of juvenile facility, and it's really not. It's basically college for high schoolers.
Yeah. That's kinda great.
Live on campus. But I will say that I formed some very strong anti-weed, anti-alcohol sentiments in high school, which I later amended. But when I was in high school, it was a one-strike school, and
Oh,
it's an
wow.
expensive school. My
Wow.
parents took out loans for me to be able to go there. Like,
Wow. Was it a music school?
it wasn't a music school, but it did have a pretty strong arts program. It really just it's an academic environment for kids who want to go to top colleges.
Mm.
And music, of course, now that I'm in it, I realize I didn't really need to go to high school or college, but I am grateful to have had those experiences. And it was really formative for me being able to create music at school and be able to perform on campus. And I had some epically poor performances, things that you wouldn't even believe. Like we did a cover of Macklemore's "Ceilings Can't Hold Us."
Oh yeah.
Can't Hold Us. And I was on stage. I had a couple of my friends were playing instruments. I was singing. I knew the whole verse. I was tapped in. And we had a dubstep drop that was this was 2012. Okay, so you got to understand, this is like Skrillex era.
This is peak dubstep
yes, this is
times.
peak dubstep before it evolved into what it did. But we had this, one of my buddies was off stage. He had a dubstep drop. We had sound checked it. It was going to be awesome.
Flawless.
He had programmed it himself. And his computer died right as the drop was supposed to happen.
Oh.
And so I'm like, here we go, guys. And then nothing.
Oh my God.
Just silence. And I was so embarrassed that I just ran off the stage.
Oh no,
that was a bad one.
I'm trying to think what I would do in that. I think I would run off stage.
Oh, dude, I've had a couple. I had one where I came out trying to play keys on stage, and I play keys a little bit. I'm not a piano player really by any stretch of the imagination, but I was like, I'd learned this whole Christmas medley, and I was going to play it myself, and I came out to perform it in front of the school. And we live with these kids. So it's not like I then get to go home afterwards. Nah, I'm going back to the dorm with these same kids.
Oh, no.
And when I tell you, just some spirit of forgetfulness just possessed me. And I could not remember a single word. I got up there, started playing, forgot all of the words, then forgot all of the chords, and tried to like freestyle it, but these are Christmas songs that people know.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So you can't really fake it. Like I could get away with it if it was one of my own songs that no one knew.
Make up some words.
You know, but I'm like, it's beginning of month and it's like, well, I'm done for.
Okay, I feel like that could like traumatize you to like never do music again.
I feel like I'm
so
traumatized.
Bad. I am still a little traumatized. And while I did get over my fear of performing, I still have not performed with a piano since. Wow. I mean, it's been probably 15 years.
Oh my God.
I still haven't done it. And that was also a situation where I ended up running off the stage before the performance. That was my move. Like, well, like Control-Alt-Delete. Like, I'm out of here. Yeah.
Seems like now you should have a contingency plan. Like, if Breland ever runs off stage,
just know if
there
it
needs
gets
to be
that
a backup
bad.
plan.
But I haven't had any performances that have gone that badly as an adult. But there's always time.
That is
time.
That is so funny.
Oh my gosh,
absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
All right, so boarding school. Did you go to college?
I did go to college.
Okay.
I went to Georgetown University.
How many years?
Wait, I graduated.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Went to school. I was in the business school. I was a marketing and management double major. Skipped a lot of classes. I was making music. Honestly, I started getting really serious about music. I was making music in high school, but in college, I was like, okay, well, by the time I graduate college, I would really love to just be able to make music, which also didn't happen. So maybe I should have gone to more classes. But I felt like there was a path forward with music. I had a couple videos on my YouTube channel that had put up some numbers and was starting to connect the dots with some producers and writers that were doing music full time. And I proceeded to skip a bunch of classes, and I would go up. I went to school in DC, so I would go up to New York to make music with kids, and eventually got my own little home set up that I would just kind of hole up in one of the little rooms on campus and just create. And sophomore year, I was doing a song a day.
Wow.
Junior year, I was doing 2 songs a day. Senior year, I was doing 3 songs a day. So I definitely wasn't going to class. Because I was like, well, one of these songs could change my life. So I have to keep working. And if doing a song a day didn't do it, maybe 2 will do it. Okay, well, doing 2 songs a day for a year and those 700 songs didn't go anywhere. Well, then maybe I need to up that to 1,000 songs. And so I was really just like constantly grinding. And honestly, must have been my junior year. I had been going back and forth to New York on weekends to work with some guys up there. And I had an accounting final exam that I thought that the exam was on a different date than it actually was. Oh. And so the exam, and what it was is that they give out a syllabus at the beginning of the semester that has all of the dates you need to know. The syllabus was wrong. Okay,
Oh.
so that felt like that was fair.
That was fair.
The syllabus said that the exam was, and I'm going to make up a date, that it was, Tuesday, May 6th, but it was actually Friday, May 3rd, or 1st, or what. I don't know how to do this math.
Seems like you guys should have gotten some leniency with that.
Seriously, it seems like that. Except apparently, every day in class,
they
for
were
the
telling
weeks leading up to the exam, our professor was telling us.
But you weren't in the classes.
I wasn't in the classes. So when it was finally time for the exam, I'm in New York, and I get a message, an email from my professor. He says, "It has come to my attention that you did not take the Accounting 102 final. Please advise." What does that mean? Please advise.
Yeah, what does that
You
mean?
advised me. What am I supposed to do now? So I came up with some crazy response like, my grandpa is sick. He had already been dead for years. I was like, my grandpa is sick. I was up in New York, blah, blah, blah. Because I couldn't be like, I was in the studio because I'm not really trying to take your class. And I ended up having to meet with multiple deans because the problem was this exam is worth 33% of your grade. It's worth 30% of your grade if you don't take it. And I was already coasting at like a C- from having not been in the class. So if I didn't take the exam, I would have failed. And they were able to give me an alternative, which is that I could take the exam with a 10-point, take 10 points off my final grade on the test, and I would have to do 40 hours of community service for people in direct need.
That's a lot.
I was like, that's kind of nice though. Like, I could fail this class or I could pass this class and better my community.
Okay.
What an angel.
I love you for that.
Say all that to say that I passed, finished school, and thank goodness the music worked out because I was not equipped to do anything else. I was not equipped to do anything else, especially not accounting. No chance.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I guess after college, I ended up moving down to Atlanta, which is actually where I've got a bunch of family down there. So I'd been going down there a bunch. Felt like some of the opportunities that were emerging for me were in the R&B and hip hop space, and that is the city where R&B and hip hop are made. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna go down here. Was working with some producers and some writers. I had a day job. I was working in corporate America for a little while after school, doing business to business tech sales.
Wow.
And I would go to work from 8:30 to 6, and then I would go to the studio from 6:30 to like 3. I would get home at like 4 a.m.
Okay, how old are you?
How old?
You look
do you
so
think I
young
am?
to me.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I lied. I looked it up.
We Googled it. I was going to call her out on it.
Yeah, I forgot. 29.
I'm 29. Yeah, I'll be 30 in a few months, which is crazy to say.
Okay.
When's your birthday?
July.
July.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like this new generation. Like this is how people do it. Like this is how you do it right. Like you're impressive as all get out.
Oh, thank you.
No, for real. I feel like sorry, I'm just gonna get on my soapbox.
Go ahead.
Because kids today like think if they're like, trying to live the dream or act or whatever, that then they don't have a day job or they can't go to school, that whatever. Like I just feel like listening to you talk about like going to college, doing your music, leaving college, having a day job from 8:30 to 6, like working on music, like busting your ass. Like I love seeing people be rewarded who work hard. And I mean, you're like honestly amazing. This is blowing my mind.
Oh.
It's just like, I love talking to people and I hear their stories like you. And I'm just like freaking blown away.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, it absolutely was a grind. I was in Atlanta, I literally was sleeping like 3 hours a night.
Well, it must be nice to be a guy because men don't need as much sleep.
That is true.
That is
really
maybe
unfair.
Scientifically true, but not personally true for me.
I like to sleep.
I need 8 hours of sleep.
Me too.
And I need my 8 hours every night. Like if I don't get my 8 hours, I'm gonna be a little like not gonna be as chipper.
I'm gonna be very cranky if I don't get
I need to eat regularly and I need to sleep consistently.
Yeah.
Like those are two things. And like, granted, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, those are things that everyone needs. Like, I'm a human being. Yeah, we need sleep and we need to eat. But there's some people that I know could get by on 4 or 5 hours of sleep every
Oh
night.
yeah,
And
lots of
they
people.
function at a really high level.
I know.
I don't know how they do it.
It's not you, huh?
Not me. I need
Yeah.
sleep. I got to hit full REM, and then
Me too.
Absolutely.
Me freaking too. Like I honestly need 10 hours.
I will say though, like I could sleep for 10 hours
Yeah.
every night and I would be fine.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
if I'm ever in a position, especially vocally, like if I'm on the road, I'll try to sleep more hours because I need that extra hour or two more to like vocally recover for the next show.
Makes sense.
So I am a sleeper.
Me too.
Like, but I also have it within me to, hunker down and do what it was that was needed to get me from that point to this point. And I definitely don't regret having grinded the way that I did because it was necessary and it built a lot of character too.
It does.
And then once I finally started to make some money in music, I knew that I had earned it versus that something just happened and I was like super green. It was like, no, I've actually been working at this for years.
And I think it's easy for anybody like on the outside or, when you do start to get a little recognition for people to just think like, oh, he's an overnight success or he got lucky or it just happened or whatever. But nobody sees what all the work you put in before. It doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't happen by
maybe there's
accident.
a little luck involved here and there, but
Sure.
you worked to be where you are.
Absolutely.
And that's something that like most people just don't get to see, right? It's like no one's paying attention to you until you've made it. But it's like
it's
to
all
make
those
it,
years
yeah,
on the front end. And then even once you've made it, you don't, whatever that means, like where you can make a living making just music.
Yep.
You still have to continue to work hard to move from there.
And that's where that character building comes in. It's, like you're on the road, like it's a grind and it's like there are sleepless nights and like you don't eat well and you don't sleep well. And so all that time spent, grinding in Atlanta or whatever and working your day job and doing that prepared you for life on the road and how tough it doesn't ever get easier. It just looks different.
Yeah. I mean, it got to a point where I eventually had to quit the job. And not because I was making any money from music, but simply because they were going to fire me. But because I was so tired. I was falling asleep at my desk.
I'm sure.
I would fall asleep at in the studio and the speakers would start going off because I accidentally pressed a button. And, but I would literally, my boss at work, shout out to everybody who worked at this place. I won't actually shout them out because they don't matter to me now. But no, they were all very nice people. But my boss used to come by and he would like kick my chair to like wake me up because I was which actually is fair. Like you shouldn't be asleep on the job. Right? I am getting paid.
That's a little aggressive,
but it was aggressive, and I'm like, you don't understand. I've got dreams, man. I don't want to just sit here and sell this technology.
Seriously.
But it did require me to hustle, and by the time I quit the job, I actually had to hustle even harder because now I was trying to do music full time as a proper starving artist.
Yeah.
And so I was giving voice lessons to people on FaceTime. I had situations where I would go out to work with artists and then they wouldn't like book my flight back from where we were. And so I would just get stuck in places like, yeah, man, it was the experiences that I absolutely needed to have. But anyone who asks, oh, you want to be a singer or a songwriter or a producer, it really does take 10,000 hours to be able to do it sustainably at a professional level. Definitely. And that is the thing that I knew coming in. The only thing I can really control is my effort and how I treat people.
Totally.
And hopefully if I do that long enough, things will align in such a way that I will achieve the things that I want to achieve. But there's always going to be someone who's more talented than you. There's always going to be someone who's better connected than you. There's always going to be someone who maybe they're just better looking or the algorithm favors them more, whatever it is. All I know is that I can control the hours that I put in and the way that I treat people along the way. And those are things that I definitely built long before I moved to Atlanta, but especially when I was in Atlanta, I think that was the real foundation of the career that people see now.
Yeah. Yeah. So where did you make the transition from Atlanta to Nashville? And you think like, oh, maybe I'll make country music.
Yeah. So initially I made my truck kind of just as a, let me see if I can do this. And some of the guys I was in the studio with were like, you can't make a country song. I was like, I could absolutely make a country song. And I had privately been listening to and enjoying country music as a listener and as a songwriter. And I'm like, man, the lyrics in country music are great. I don't believe that My Truck is the best example of that, but I do have some songs in my catalog that I'm very proud of on that front. But it was just a proof of concept that I really was thinking I was going to pitch to someone else. And I posted a snippet of it. And so at the time that I wrote that song, for context, I was really just writing songs. I had been working with a producer that was pretty adamant that I'm just a songwriter, that being an artist was never going to be in the cards for me. And for a long time, I believed him. But I started posting these snippets of demos that I was working on, and I would tell the internet, hey, like, tag the artist that you could hear doing this song. And I actually started getting cuts from those posts. And a lot of like old heads in the industry were like, you can't post snippets of demos because artists are never going to want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like,
I can hear them saying that.
Point proven. I went from, as a songwriter, went from having no cuts in 2016, 2017, and all the years prior, to 2018, no cuts. 2019, suddenly I had over a dozen cuts.
Wow.
And
where were you posting?
I was just posting. This is pre-TikTok. So I was really just posting this on Instagram. Like,
crazy.
Literally would just post on Instagram, hey, tag the artist you think should sing this song. And then people would start tagging, and it just became a thing that my page was known for. And so when I wrote My Truck, I did the same thing. And at that point, it was kind of the perfect storm of people feeling like, you should put this out yourself. Because over time, they were like, you sound so good on all these songs. You should do them. And so when we finally got to that point, they were like, you should do it. You should do it. You should do it. And so I was like, hey, if I get 500 comments, I'll put it out. And I got the comments, put it out. It didn't do anything for a couple months. And then we put it out in September. By the time December rolled around, it was viral. All of a sudden, a bunch of different record labels are calling me, are you the artist behind this song? Whatever. I was like, I guess.
You're like, I think that's
and I didn't know I couldn't wrap my mind around what was happening, because this is a song that was put out with no budget, no marketing plan. I didn't even continue posting it, like, to try to make it work. Like, it just happened to catch. People started to post it, and this was kind of converging at the same time as TikTok becoming a popular platform at the end of.
So what year was that? Was that like
This was the end of 2019.
2019.
Yeah. So, I mean, now at this point, a full 5 years ago. And that was really the shift that made me feel like, okay, like, I'm going to make the move to Nashville, because now I'm making music that sounds a lot different. And I would love to be able to create it with the people that create this kind of music more authentically.
Yeah.
And it was great. I
mean,
mean,
you put the song out on your own.
Yeah.
And then where's the link to where Sam jumped on it?
Yeah, the song was doing really well. It was the #1 most viral song on the global Spotify chart, which was crazy. But it also it intersected with the start of the pandemic.
Right.
So then we were kind of in a tough spot, and we were looking to see if there were any artists in the country world that would be down to hop on it. And Sam had been listening to it with, some of the guys in his band out on the last few shows that they had. And so literally a couple weeks before the world shut down, I was able to come to Nashville, kick it with him for a few days. He introduced me to a bunch of people in his friend group that are still my closest friends in Nashville.
Love that.
And we were able to get that feature done, just kind of as a product of him just being a fan of the song and appreciating what it was doing. And obviously he's someone that has kind of leaned into the hip hop bag a little bit, and has some of those Atlanta, Georgia roots as a part of his story as well. So it was cool to be able to create that with him, and to have that kind of a stamp so early in my career.
Absolutely.
And it definitely gave the song additional life and credibility that I probably wouldn't have had otherwise. And then we were able to put that out in maybe April or May, kind of when everything was shut down. And so that also allowed me to kind of survive through those months where we couldn't go anywhere and weren't really sure, well, how do we break an artist at an unprecedented time.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam, in a lot of ways, I wouldn't be here now if he didn't jump on the song then. And there are a few artists like that at very early stages in my career were really instrumental in helping me understand how this industry works and, giving me that confidence.
It is amazing what social media can do. Because
Really.
that's kind of a
Absolutely.
similar story to Old Town Road.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Little Nas had put out just a little bit
Mhm.
of Old Town Road.
Yeah,
He
like
had-
what, a verse and chorus
Yeah.
only?
And
Yeah,
then
goes
also,
viral.
like, I remember it was on Twitter, was like, can somebody get this to Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yeah.
And then that's how that happened.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then Billy Ray jumped on and it became a whole, song. And so it's very similar stories.
Absolutely.
That how, I despise social media most of the time, but there are stories like these where you go, wow, it's like really crazy what social media can do. And now TikTok, how so many people get their start that way.
Yeah. I think that there are some really incredible stories that you see of, young business owners or obviously people in the music industry and people who are able to change their lives. And I'm a byproduct of that as well.
Yeah.
But then I also think on the flip side with TikTok, you have this whole thing of like, as a musician at least,
Mhm.
I don't want to have to just create music for TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't
Totally.
want to have to create music for an algorithm. I would really love to be able to create music for real people. And I get that the algorithm is based on people, but it's based on whether or not someone's going to stop and pay attention to something versus, well, what if there was another way to get that music to them? I wonder if the cat is kind of out of the bag now that TikTok has become such a driving force
Right.
for how music is created, how music is
Totally.
marketed and distributed, that I do think maybe there's a middle ground that we can find for like, hey, even if this song doesn't go on TikTok,
Yeah.
or just because the song does go on TikTok,
Right.
the quality of the art should also matter.
One, I cannot agree more.
Yeah. And I see it all the time because, people at my label or people that I get in to write with, they'll be the first ones to be, we need a TikTok. We got
I
to share this.
Totally.
And it's like, yo, well, this is a great song. It doesn't necessarily work in a TikTok short form content capacity, but I think it's a really beautiful, brilliant song.
Right.
And then I could also have something that I'm like, I know that this is so stupid and it's going to go if I post it. And it does.
That's the thing, right? Is like a lot of the TikTok viral songs are a bit gimmicky and not in a bad way. It's just what they are.
But it makes sense because this is also a place where people are consuming memes and other forms of short form content.
Yeah.
So you're really trying to. Music doesn't become music. Music just becomes a part of the overall media landscape, and you are competing for attention. You're competing for eyeballs against everything else that people could possibly be watching or engaging with.
And I feel like you just lose so much of the art.
Absolutely.
And honestly,
sure.
some like, because I've managed Molly since she was 12, and like it infuriates me when the first thing is this doesn't seem like something we can promote on TikTok. I'm just like, oh my God.
Not all music is meant to be consumed that
for
way.
real.
Right. But I also think that on the flip side, you do have all these really amazing stories. I think about a guy that I was out on tour with this year, Teddy Swims, good buddy of mine. And he is so unbelievably talented and just has one of those generational voices that I don't think he would be in the position that he's in right now without social media really championing him. And that was an example, I think, where that absolutely should happen because he's so talented, and that is a voice that needs to be heard by all of the millions of people that are now listening to it. So it's a balance. TikTok and social media, I think, are a tool, and like all tools, it's about how you use it.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys, I don't know about y'all, but it's warming up here in Nashville, and I'm legitimately already looking at flights for beach trips, summer vacations, and I am here to tell you that Built lets you earn points on rent payments and redeem them towards flights, hotels, and so much more. One of your biggest investments should get you more than just a roof over your head. Am I right? It should get you a vacation. Let me explain. There's no cost to join Built, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on on your everyday spending. Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, even the ones you haven't heard of. There are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world that you can redeem your Built points towards. Points can also be redeemed towards a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Built members can access. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/Cyrus. That's joinbilt.com/Cyrus. That's joinbuilt.com/Cyrus to start earning points on your rent payments today and enjoy that vacation.
You guys know I absolutely love Nutrafol. It is something I've taken on and off again for years. And the thing is, consistency is key because truly all of us should love our hair, but we do get shedding and thinning, especially as we age. And I know after I had babies, I lost so much hair. And, guys, I went through some stress last year. I noticed a lot of hair shedding. So I've been back on my Nutrafol and I love it so much. And it's good to know that Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. And it's trusted by over 1.5 million people. Everyone's root causes of hair thinning are different, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow throughout different stages, such as postpartum and menopause. I've gone through both. It's physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients. Nutrafol supplements support visibly stronger, healthier hair from the inside out. Building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescription required, automated deliveries, and free shipping keep you on track. Plus, with Nutrafol's subscription, you can save up to 20%. You'll have access to free naturopathic doctor consults and a Headspace meditation membership that's included. So sick. So start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Cyrus. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol. For healthier hair, go to Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com with promo code Cyrus. And let them know we sent you. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Cyrus.
Well, obviously my truck was huge. 1.2 billion streams, which is insane. Two times platinum.
Yeah.
It went 2 times platinum. Yeah.
Double plat.
That is incredible. So that was your first collab, but then you also had collabs with Shania Twain, huge.
What?
Keith Urban, huge, and our girl Mickey Guyton.
Yeah.
Love Mickey.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, those are 3 like huge names to be working with.
Those are all legends in their own right, and all people that I've learned a lot from. Like Keith, I learned a lot from just because we started writing a bunch. We took a trip out to Australia together and wrote a bunch of songs out there.
Wow.
And just seeing, I learned a lot from him about how longevity in country music works and how he's been able to continue to reinvent himself and stay relevant in an industry that's constantly changing and evolving. I think Mickey is just the homie. Like she's opened up a lot of doors for me, for a lot of other artists that look like me in this genre. She took a lot of L's so that people like me and Tanner Adele and Shabuzi could win. And that's not to say that Mickey also isn't winning and won't win, but like she had to really fight for a lot of the things that we take for granted now. And so I'm always really grateful for her, what she represents in this space, and everything that she's done for me personally, things that I won't even share publicly, but she is absolutely a real one. And
she really is.
And then even, Shania as well. Like she took me out on the road at a time that a lot of other artists probably wouldn't take me out on a tour like that. Brought me back out to open for her UK and Europe legs of her tour. We got to play Madison Square Garden. We got to play the big amphitheater near my house where I grew up. And a bunch of my hometown friends were able to come to both of those shows. We played first show ever at Geodis Park here in Nashville.
Oh, that's right.
And what's crazy about Geodis is when Geodis was first opening their very first game, and I live in Wedgwood, Houston. For those of you who don't live in Nashville, Geodis Park is our soccer stadium. It's the largest soccer,
No.
exclusively
It's so nice.
soccer stadium it's the biggest in North America. Like 30,000 people.
Yeah, and it's where it's like near the fairgrounds. Where the fairgrounds,
right in front of the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And
What was there? Was it the old Nashville Sound Stadium that was in that spot? There was a stadium there back in the day.
I don't know what was there because I've only been here since 2020.
I think it was the old baseball stadium.
Okay.
I think
that
sounds about
They
right.
leveled it, built the new baseball stadium over north of the city.
Germantown.
In Germantown.
Yes.
And then now we've got Geodis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I live in Wedgwood, Houston. They opened the stadium there. I was so excited. And then they asked me to do like a 10-minute pregame performance before the first game at the opening game.
Sick.
I'm hyped. This is a big deal. I had been playing Stagecoach the night before, so we all fly in.
Wow.
For this. The game is on Sunday. We've been out on Stagecoach Saturday. And I'm hyped. I'm like, we get to open the stadium. No one will ever be able to take this from us.
Yeah.
And we get there at like 7 a.m. They're just trying to figure out how the sound system works. And we were able to get it to a good place. They then, like 10 minutes before the game, or before I was supposed to go on, they're like, we can't turn the sprinklers off on the field. And there were just suddenly there were like multiple issues.
Oh no.
And I'm starting to panic because this can't happen.
I'm so hyped.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Happen.
We came in for this. We've been here for hours. The game is at 3. We've been here for literally like 8 hours. And so they roll us out. They finally turn the sprinklers off. They roll us out on a riser into the center of the pitch. There's literally 25,000 plus who are all excited for the beginning of this season and the first game in this new stadium. They don't have to play in Nissan anymore. We're hyped. And they can't turn the mics on. And about 3 minutes later, after I'm just standing there in the center of the field,
did you run off?
It felt like that. It felt like it was going to be one of those moments for me. And if I were in high school, I absolutely would have. But instead, they just like in my ear, they're like, gotta scrap it. Can't do it.
You're kidding.
They were like, because the game is televised. And so we have to start at a certain time. They're like, we got to scrap it. Sorry. And they
just wheel you off.
They wheeled you
me
off.
Stop. And I'm just standing on, and I was so upset. I was
such
so
a
upset because I was like, man, like this was gonna be historic. Like I want to make history.
Damn.
And I got a bunch of messages. It was even worse because I got a bunch of messages from people afterwards who was like, I couldn't hear you. Well, yeah, no performance happened, brother. Like
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, like just all these messages, and I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And so Shania ends up bringing me out on tour, and it becomes the first ever concert
at that stadium
that they're having at that stadium. And so as the opener, I still got to be the first one.
Wow.
And then as it turned out, like based on having turned it into a concert venue to then try to switch it back over for whatever the next game that they had was, I think it ended up costing them like hundreds of thousands of dollars to like reseed the pitch. Is that why
there have been no more concerts?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be doing many more concerts there, at least not at any time while the season is still happening, which this was happening during the season. So it ended up costing them some money, and I was like, that's what you get.
Seriously.
I felt very vindicated. I was like, me and Shania came in and we got justice. Okay.
Seriously.
Justice has been served to the people of Geodis Park.
Is that the only concert that's ever been there?
I don't know if they've done more.
So.
Have they done more? They may have done more. I think they've done a couple others.
Not many though.
But I was the first.
That is great.
I was the first. So I still got my little slice of history here.
I love that.
Good.
Absolutely.
You deserve that.
I can just see you being rolled on and rolled off.
I was just like, why? Why is this happening?
I would be scared.
I know.
It would have been better if we hadn't already been in the middle of the.
No, I know.
Like if they canceled it before it happened, I would have been fine. But they wheeled me out, so now I'm just in the middle of this whole crowd, and yeah, that wasn't ideal.
That's terrible.
Definitely not.
Terrible.
It really is. Let's see. Okay. Is there a specific moment that you can remember where you felt like country music truly embraced your unique style?
Yes. The ACM Awards in Vegas 2022.
Okay.
I definitely felt embraced. I just dropped my song Praise the Lord with Thomas Rhett. We got to perform that song at the ACMs, and it was one of the highlights of the night, I think, in general, but it was one of the highlights of my career because I got to perform a new song with Thomas, and I saw like an immediate reaction to the song. It was the first time that I've ever done like proper first week numbers.
Yeah.
Because even with like My Truck and all of the other songs that I've done, even the ones that have done well, they're songs that people discover over time and and they build. But that was the first time that I felt like I did something and it immediately reacted, and it was a song that was already kind of going viral before we put it out. We put it out and performed it the same night that it came out, and I got to meet so many artists that gave me really great feedback on my performance, and I felt very welcomed. I would say between that and then probably the 2023 ACM Honors Award, where I won the Lift Every Voice Award, which is like their inaugural award to celebrate diversity in country music. And because it was the first one, I felt like that was also a really special moment, and just what the award represents in general. But to be able to come out on stage and shout out so many other artists of color and artists that have inspired me. Keith came out and presented that award for me. So that was another night that I definitely felt very welcomed. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the award shows can be, it can go one of two ways. It can either really make you feel embraced and included and like seen, and you know, or it can make you, because it's such a small community and a tight community, it can also sometimes make you feel very shut out.
Absolutely.
I feel like so. I especially the ACMs, because that's one of the bigger, more prestigious award shows. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I've performed at all of them. I've performed at the CMAs. I've been nominated for a CMA. I've performed at the CMTs. I've been nominated for a CMT. All of those moments, they're kind of nerve-wracking. Like for me, anytime I'm performing in a setting where I can't see my audience, it makes me a little nervous. Like televised performances, because it's just not natural.
Exactly.
Because even when you're performing at, say, the CMAs and you're in Bridgestone and you can see some of your audience, but one, it's weird because all of your peers and contemporaries are sitting right in front of you. That's terrifying. I'm like trying to perform, and Eric Church is just like, Chris Stapleton sitting right there. Like, I don't feel adequate or to be here right now. And then also it's weird because even while you can see an arena full of people, you also know that there are millions of other people who are watching that you can't see, and you only get one chance to get it right. Whereas like if I'm just performing a regular show, the only people who are seeing it are there. So there's an element of we are all sharing space, sharing energy. I feel really comfortable in front of these people most of the time. And then even if I'm like doing stuff on social media, that's a little weird because I can't see the audience, but I also know that I don't have to post anything until I've gotten it right. So if I'm like posting a cover of something or doing a video for one of whatever it is, I don't really have to get nervous about that, because if I don't do it right, just do it again. And post a better version of it. But when you're performing in a setting where it's live television,
it is so freaking scary.
Especially at an award show on a night where you're already a little nervous about whatever award you might be up for. Yeah, it's not. And at the CMAs in particular, they do this thing because if you're coming out of a commercial break, they've got everyone gets up and goes around and they mingle during the commercial break, and then they try to get everyone back in their seats.
It's
so
like
there's a dude in your ear who's like, 60 seconds until we're live. 54 seconds, 50 seconds. And it's like, what's going to happen when we hit zero? Like, you know, like they add all of this pressure. First off, no one needs a 60-second countdown.
I know,
that
but
is
they do.
Crazy. You don't need a 60 second. I need 10. Give me
it
a 10
makes me a nervous
countdown.
wreck, and I'm not even doing anything. I want to be like, everybody sit the fuck down.
Absolutely. And I also have a history of peeing my pants on stages as a young child. So like, nothing makes you want to pee your pants more than a 60-second countdown.
No.
What?
It's insane.
I don't ever want to hear a 60-second countdown for anything.
hilarious.
And honestly, they're so intense about it.
Absolutely. And they sound panicked. You know, like
literally panicked.
You know, I was on a flight once and I had a pilot who didn't have a calm voice.
Oh shit.
And like,
I would not be okay.
You never want to be on a flight with you want, like, every pilot should talk. This is your pilot speaking.
Yeah.
Even if there's an emergency, the pilot should sound like this.
Yeah.
We've got a little issue with the plane.
Very tiny.
Small issue. We should be all right.
Deal.
We're gonna handle it. We're actually gonna divert our landing. We're gonna land in Phoenix. Like that's what I want my pilot to sound like.
Panic pilot sound like?
Panic pilot. It was literally Panic pilot. He was like, so there's. I cannot make this up. First time he sounded like he was like 12 years old.
No, I would be coming in English.
He's like, so there's a bit of an issue on the plane, and then he waits like 5 seconds, that should be illegal. So now everyone's like, we're all like, what's going on?
Oh no!
He's like, we're gonna have to land back in. We had come from Los Angeles. Like, we're gonna have to land back in LA. Just everyone, please take your seats. And I was like, what? I need some assurances, brother.
We need to know what happened.
I need more information. And then like a couple minutes later, I imagine it was the co-pilot. It sounded like a totally different voice. Was like, so the issue that we had, I was like, why didn't he speak first? Or why didn't you collect yourself before you told me this? Because I'm thinking this is it. I'm like, you have the worst disposition for this job.
Literally.
Seriously.
There's certain jobs that you have to be calm.
Surely they put him some like
that co-pilot probably said you need to step down.
You know what I mean? That's like having a doctor that talks like that.
Oh your doctor, God.
You need your doctor to have a very calming presence, be very chill, because you're dealing with health. Like these aren't comfortable conversations. You don't want your doctor coming in and be like, okay, so we ran your blood work and I don't really know. It's just not looking good. Even if it's not looking good, you better present it to me in a way that I don't freak out.
You are my favorite guest.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, do better, man. Like,
I'm serious.
Certain jobs you gotta.
Because you don't understand, like on flights, when there is any turbulence and they make the stewardesses sit in their seat, I immediately panic and lean over and start looking at them right by, like, tell me that everything's okay.
Absolutely.
Like, truly, like, I'll be like, are we good?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, I literally make them, like, confirm that we are good.
Yeah.
Because it is freaking scary.
It's also, like, another job I think that requires that the people that doesn't get enough credit is parents. Parents have to try to keep things calm.
Do I? Or I think I might panic.
Yeah.
Were you a panic?
She's a panicker, yeah.
Although I will say, like, when you guys would get hurt, I would be calm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I could see situations.
Only she's going to be able to answer this question, honestly, as to whether did you feel...
It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
I feel like it is hit or miss.
Hit or miss for you.
If I'm smoking some seriously great weed,
I
am chill. I'm like, we are good. Like, everything is fine.
Oh my God.
But I could feel me having some panicked moments. Yeah.
I did have a situation that happened to me on tour recently where I mistakenly took an edible.
Oh,
that's happened to me.
Way too big for my body.
That will get you.
And I thought it was a regular vitamin. I asked for a vitamin because my guitarist had a vitamin container.
Ooh.
And he did try to give me the heads up. He thought that I knew. He was like, yeah, man, like, just so you know, it's high dose. And I'm thinking B12, vitamin C. I was like, I'll be fine.
You're like, I can use it,
Yeah.
Boost the immunity.
Was this before you went on stage?
No, this was after the show. It was after the show. It was after the show. We were on like a little run. We were playing in Detroit. We had a small, intimate, it was a really like intimate little show that we did something we've never done before where we're playing. We did basically, the venue couldn't really handle our normal show. And so we were like, let's just do like a stripped down acoustic version of the show. We usually play 75 minutes. We gave these people 2 hours.
Wow.
Like, I was like, hey, we have another show tomorrow. So like, let me get some vitamins. Call it an early night. It was a 75 milligram edible.
Oh my God.
I feel like that could kill someone.
No, 75 milligrams could take down a horse. Like, when I tell you, like,
were you tripping balls?
Well, it was crazier because I didn't know that I was high.
So what did you think was happening?
So what happened was, oh my gosh. So we leave we're like, you know what? Bus call is until 2.
Oh,
it's Friday night. Let's go to this. Let's just go to this they have a tin roof, actually.
Oh,
they have a tin roof Detroit. And we were like, we're going to go to Tin Roof in Detroit. I was like, cool. Like, I'm going to have a couple drinks. And some of the guys in my band had like invited out some people to come meet us at this bar. I get there, and as we're walking up the stairs, and it was like a rooftop walk up. In reality, it was 4 stories, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And now I have 100 stories to tell. But yeah, we're going up 4 stories, and the edible hits, and I am immediately, my body is shutting down. I am panicking. I'm like, I think I'm like, not, I can't even process whether I'm in reality or not. It felt like, and once we went past the 2nd story of steps and we were still going up, I realized I died, went to hell, and hell is just going up these stairs that lead nowhere. That's what I thought was happening. That was the only way I could rationalize it, because I'm not thinking.
Were you panicking?
I was panicking, but I'm not thinking, oh, I'm really high right now and I shouldn't be outside. I'm thinking, I don't know. I couldn't process any of my thoughts normally.
No, this happened to me too.
Yeah, so I'm way too high. We finally get to the bar. The DJ is like, we got Breland in the house.
No.
So now
it's
a nightmare scenario.
Oh, no.
Nightmare scenario. Now people are coming over. They want to take pictures.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
I'm like, hey, like, no, like, I can't be here right now. And one of the girls who was at this bar was a nurse, and we started talking, and I was like, hey, we need to talk. And we had a conversation. I remember this. I remembered this afterwards. Shout out, her name is Sierra. We've never spoken since, but shout out to Sierra up in Detroit, because she talked me off the ledge, because I was fully panicking. She was like, well, it sounds like maybe you should just take a few deep breaths and maybe just go back to the bus and go to bed. And I was like, okay, yeah.
And did you figure out what had happened?
I slept the next day until 4 p.m. I slept for a full 16 hours, which is not normal. Also, hey, why did nobody wake me up?
Seriously, God.
I slept through sound check. What are y'all doing?
The guy that gave it to you, did he like say anything to anyone? Did he?
It wasn't until I started coming down about 7 p.m. the following day before our next show, and I didn't know what was wrong with me still. And we finally get there, and I'm like, okay, I am finally feeling normal. I don't know what happened last night. I had like some sort of psychotic break. And he was like, oh, dude, it was the edible. I thought you could handle it. And I was like, what edible? And he was like, it was the edible. I told you. I was like, the vitamin? And he was like, I told you.
I bet he thought you were completely joking.
I thought you knew. He's like, I told you it was high dose. And I was like, okay, it's on both of us, actually, because
I thought it was high dose vitamin C.
I thought it was high dose vitamins.
Oh my God.
And so then we had a good laugh about it, and I went out on stage, and it turned into, it's a funny story now.
Yeah.
But when I tell you,
it's not funny in the moment.
It was not funny in the moment. I was in a bad way that night. Like, I was down so bad.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'll make mine short, but we were at Beecher's Madhouse, which is
what is that?
Hold on, really, Patty, I'm parched.
Oh my God. Here.
You want some water?
I'm like he's got me all sugar.
Please.
You are the funniest.
Yeah, we're gonna sip. We're gonna sip some water.
Beecher's Madhouse was it was in the Roosevelt Hotel. Beecher's How do you explain?
What city is this in?
In Hollywood.
Okay. In Hollywood.
They had one in Vegas too for a second, but it's
called Beecher's Madhouse.
And it's kind of like a fun house
carnival
theme.
And he was the ringleader.
Yeah.
And it was very much I can't explain it and be PC.
It's really hard to explain.
It's
say what you gonna say.
Did you know about Beecher's?
They had Amazon Ashley, who was, how tall was Amazon Ashley?
7 foot.
7 foot.
Is it like a carnival?
Yes.
It's like a sideshow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And but a club.
Oh, okay.
But everybody's performing and it's insane. And Molly had maybe her
birthday there.
18th birthday party.
Actually, I think it was a Halloween party.
No, I don't think it was a birthday.
No, I think it was a Halloween because I remember Zac Efron was there in these short shorts and he was a cop and the sunglasses and I didn't even recognize it. And I think that was the night you took that.
This is when I'm still very naive and not even knowing like my kids are smoking pot and stuff.
Understood.
And so I'm there and there are brownies and all these baked goods on the table and I eat a brownie. And all of a sudden the show starts and I am like so overwhelmed by this show that I'm like, I think I'm going to go home now. Like this is way over the top. And so I go home, get in bed, go to sleep and wake up like an hour and a half later. And when I was like, I'm you walking up the stairs, I set up and the world is spinning.
Oh, no.
I mean, spinning. And I am seeing things. I am like fully, like literally just. And I call Miley and I'm like, Mile, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Like, I do not feel good. You have to, I think I need to go to the hospital. Like, I can't and I think I had woke up brazen and he was like, oh, you. None of my kids would help me.
Literally, she tried to wake. I was drunk. She tried to wake me up, and I was like, I literally was like,
tried to wake Brazen up. No, so I call Molly, and she's still there at Beecher's, and I'm like, Molly, I think you have to come home. I have to go to the hospital right now. I'm freaking out. Blah blah. And she's like, Mom, stop. Like what time did you leave, and what did you do? And like, what did you eat something that you don't feel good or whatever? And I was like, all I had was a brownie, and she's like, Mom, that was a weed brownie. And I am like, what?
Those brownies are high dose.
And she told me to turn on something funny. She got, get your mind off of it. Turn on something funny. Do not go to the hospital. But I was literally tripping for hours. It was horrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're not prepared to handle whatever it is that you've
never smoked
consumed
before, or eaten a gummy, or eaten it, like never before anything.
You're not equipped.
And when you say you felt like you were in hell, I felt like I was in hell.
Yeah.
Literal hell.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I was like, well, I'm just gonna be going up these stairs for eternity now.
It felt like it. And I just kept saying, Lord, please make it stop. Please make it stop. And it would not stop.
Well, apparently when the guys in my band were coming over to me to like check on me, I also like stopped talking like for the whole time just that I was up there. I was totally mute. And they would come over and they're like, is everything all right? And my only response was, I'm good. I'm good. Y'all have fun. I want y'all to have fun. I'm good.
Wow. Selfless even on a trip.
Hey, man.
That is too good.
All right. Well, we can keep the laughs rolling. We're going to play What's the Tea?
Okay, great.
We're going to play a little game. It's a little bit of a rapid fire.
Let's do it.
We just ask you some questions.
Cool.
You got the first one, Mother.
You have covered Beyonce's Sandcastles before. What's another non-country song you'd love to put a spin on? Your spin.
I feel like one of these Drake songs.
Ooh.
Easily. Like, I don't know. Because his songs are still very lyrical. I could see him doing something like I need one day, got an energy in my hands. One more time before I go. One if I was taking a hold on me. I could hear a strum pattern that would make that you could country that up.
Definitely.
And it would be kind of
You love
cool.
Drake.
I had a major Drake phase, and it was Sam is to blame for that one too.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam, we were all on a major Drake train for a while.
Absolutely.
There. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I accidentally skipped to page 2.
We know. I was literally like looking at Kelsey like, what is she talking about? It's okay though. We'll forgive you.
It's okay.
Let's see.
Well, I get to do another one. Cats or dogs?
Okay.
Dogs.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Give us a dream day in the life for you.
Dream day in the life for me would look like get up, have a big breakfast. I'm a big breakfast guy.
I love breakfast.
Gotta have a big breakfast. I don't have a big breakfast most of the time, but I do like when I do get to have one. Like I need scrambled eggs, hash browns, breakfast, like sausage, fruit.
I was thinking like chicken and waffles sounds
Ooh.
good. You know,
I would do a big breakfast and I'll just eat all of that in smaller portions.
I don't really eat big breakfasts either, but that is I think that might be, if I had one favorite thing about being on the road on tour was hotel breakfast.
I know.
They're so good.
I do love a hotel breakfast. I like a continental breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Give me a waffle.
So I'm starting with that. I know this is probably supposed to be more rapid fire.
That's right.
I'm going to start with that. I'm going to work my way. I personally probably go play some tennis. Play a lot of tennis. I play
My husband does too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I play like 4 days a week.
Wow.
4 or 5 days a week, depending on what my knees can handle. And probably from there, I'm going to go watch some sports. Big basketball fan, big football fan. We go watch a game. If I could go in person, that would be great.
Well, this is a dream day. So.
Have a nice dinner. Maybe go see some comedy. Have a little chuckle.
Wow.
And then I'm probably going to bed.
Yeah, and getting 10 hours of sleep.
And I'm getting my sleep. Absolutely.
Seriously, that was
like a really
good.
nice day.
That was a dream day. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Chicken tenders.
I'm with you on that.
You
That's a good
love
one.
chicken tenders.
Mac and
Chicken
cheese is
tendy
my other one.
goes crazy.
Raising Cane's.
Yep.
Overrated or no?
They paid me pretty well earlier this year, so I rock with them. You pay me enough, I'll be willing to support just about anything.
They also paid me, but they are fucking good.
It was solid. Like I like Raising Cane's.
I do too. Okay.
I will say that I am probably a little preferential to Chick-fil-A unless Raising Cane's can pay me more.
let me let you in on a secret. They can.
I'm sure they
can.
So if they want to pay me more, I will disavow Chick-fil-A, dissociate from them entirely. You'll never see a Chick-fil-A bag in my house.
Seriously. What's the wildest fan interaction you've ever had on the road?
I had a situation with a dude who asked me to draw something on his arm that he was then going to get tattooed. And he did. But I'm not a visual artist at all. I draw the same way that I drew. When I was like 5 years old, I used to write these books and I would illustrate them myself. I still draw like that. Like, it's not, I have not developed as a visual artist at all. So it's basically, I drew like a stick figure version of myself with like little curls and glasses. It was on his arm, on his like forearm.
Pretty visible then.
Very visible. And then I signed it.
Wow.
And he actually went and got it tattooed. And I think he thought he was going to go viral from the video.
And he didn't.
So I was like, you played yourself. Like, this is going to be on your body. Now you got to pay to get this removed. Or this is just going to be on your body.
It's
and one day you're going to tell someone, oh, yeah, I got this tattoo. And he drew this. And it is such a subpar, mediocre, elementary school level drawing. I'm embarrassed for him.
Maybe it's cute.
It's not.
It's not. Oh, shit.
We'll find a picture.
I'll find it for you.
Yeah,
I wish it was cute. I wish it was cute.
No, that's not okay. Okay, if you could reimagine my truck with one unexpected artist, who would it be?
I want to get Miley on it, man.
Oh,
she'd kill it.
Come on, she would kill it because she's one of the only artists that I know. Her, Post Malone, and maybe me that I could see doing any genre. And she's done pretty much every genre. You know, she's got rock songs, country songs, R&B songs, hip hop songs, pop songs. Like I could see her getting on just about anything.
That is so fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how we get to diamond. From that double platinum. Yes, that's how you get to 10.
That's good. What's one song of yours that you feel deserves way more love than it's gotten?
I'll take the entire catalog for $200, Alex. No, I've got a couple. I've got a song called Thirsty that I think is just a bop.
Okay.
Thirsty is a big bop. I've got a song called The Extra Mile that I think is just a really beautiful song. I sing it a bunch on the road, really just like sweet tune. And I play both of those songs at shows, whether people know them or not.
Yeah, I like to say one for them, one for me.
Absolutely. You gotta have some.
You do.
Yeah.
Miley learned that early on. Most unexpected artist that has slid into your DMs to compliment your work.
Ooh.
Or for something else.
Oh, y'all want that tea.
We do.
We want the actual tea.
Yeah, the most unexpected. I don't know about a DM slide per se, but I did have a situation where I was playing a writer's round in Nashville, and afterward, someone was like, "Hey, Lana Del Rey was here, and she loves your voice, and she's gonna listen to your music later." And I was like, she should just hit me up. I'm super easy to reach.
Oh my God.
I'm available at any time.
Yeah, she should. I mean, she should holler at me, like.
She is so freaking beautiful. And so,
Absolutely.
I listen to Lana on the daily.
Yeah.
She does. She's big.
I'm a
Lana fan.
No, I'm a fan. But that one was a surprise. I was like, what? She knows who I am? That's cool.
Yeah, it was insane. We were on a flight. Where were we on a flight back from
here to LA?
Oh, from here to LA, and Lana. We walked past, and I forget who was with me that said
Audrey.
Oh yes, my stepdaughter, and she was like, "Oh my!" And Audrey's the reason I fell in love with Lana. Oh. And she goes, "Oh my God, Tish, Lana's in the front row," and I'm like, "What?" And I'm like,
Miley and I are like so embarrassed. We're like,
I literally I turned around and Miley. Lana's in the front. She was like, "Don't you dare!" I go, "I'm saying hi." She was like, "Stop it." She would not let me say hi. She would not let me say.
Freaking Pat sat next to her and talked to her the whole
Miley's
flight.
assistant sat right next to her and talked to her the whole flight, and they would not let me say hi. But I was fangirling all over the place, and I don't do that.
I love it.
She is just everything.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm done. I love you, Lana.
Well, speaking of sliding in the DMs, how's your love life? Do you even have time to date? And if so, how do you meet people?
That is a great question.
Isn't it?
That is the question everybody wants to know.
Do they?
Oh,
I feel like people always ask.
I don't know.
I would say it's just a little too early to talk about.
Oh.
That's what I would say.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like not single.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Maybe it's too early to say not single, but there is some.
All I said was to be determined.
Okay, great.
You like that? You like that?
I'm going to say right now, you're a freaking catch.
Okay, wow, thank you.
I mean, I am like, your vibe is everything. I mean, you've got your style.
He has great style.
You have great style.
Shout out to Style Me Molly.
And you're actually so freaking hilarious. I love that you make me laugh. And like, you've got, Brandi says perfect pitch.
Tish
I mean,
loves the boys.
I've got relative pitch.
I'm just like, you just would be so fun to hang out with all the time.
You've been the first guy guest we've had all week, and she has just lit up like a Christmas.
I'm around. We could kick it.
Can we kick it?
We can absolutely
honestly, it's so fun.
We could take some vitamins.
Oh yes.
Low dose.
I'm very low dose. Yes. But no, honestly, yes, you are just honestly the cutest. I can't.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hit him with the last one.
Thanks, Tish.
Someone you've become friends with in Nashville that surprised you.
I've become really pretty good friends with Tyler Hubbard.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Who has just salt to the earth. Just like really, really good people. Shout out to Tyler.
That is really cool.
He has accomplished everything that you can possibly accomplish in music and has reinvented himself, and he's doing it again. So
really,
I have a great deal of respect for him as an artist, and even more so as a person.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Love that. Well, we're going to squeeze in a Dear MT before we wrap it up.
Okay.
We have this segment where the stoners, our listeners, call in and ask Tish for advice. Sometimes she kills it. Sometimes she needs us to help.
Okay.
So feel free to pitch in.
Go ahead.
My name is Cynthia and I am from Belgium, Europe. And excuse me, guys, my English is not very good because in my country we speak French and Dutch. So, excuse me. But I just want to send you this video because I love your podcast. And your podcast is actually make me learn English because I listen every podcast you post. And just want to tell you guys, to show you guys love, because I love you. I feel like we are in conversation together in your podcast, and I love that for you guys. And keep going, keep posting your video. I was actually watching your podcast you post before Christmas, and I loved it. And yeah, bisous, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
She is so
God
cute.
God bless you guys.
Okay.
She didn't ask for advice, but I love her.
She doesn't need any advice.
She
has got it.
She is living her best life. Okay, what did she say she speaks?
She speaks French and Dutch.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was in Belgium for New Year's.
I've never been to Belgium.
Yeah, I was literally just there a week and a half ago.
Wow, she is adorable.
We love
and
her.
honestly, these are the videos that make me the happiest.
I know. She really gets emotional.
This is why I love doing the show.
We get quite a few international fans sending it. We need to take this podcast worldwide.
We really
take it on
do.
the road.
Should we take it on the road?
Mom, I beg.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're the one that won't travel.
No, I was in my what do I call it? My what was my anxiety era? That ship has sailed. You're empty and Tizzle. I am back and ready to go. Packing. Let's pack our bags.
I love it.
I'm ready to rock this. I'm ready to rock this pod all over the world.
Oh my god!
Wow, who is she?
I don't know, but I like her.
I like her a lot.
I kept looking there during my anxiety era. I would go through my phone and show Dom these pictures, and I would be like, "I miss her.
Oh,
she back." I'm not even stoned, and I'm feeling.
You're so funny.
High on life.
Oh my god!
High on life.
Truly,
my husband does this constantly.
I love it.
If she wants to learn proper English, she should not be listening to
us.
But
I am not proper English, so listen to Brandi, not me.
I'm a little better, but when I get around you, Matt last night was like, "You've been around your mom too much. Your accent's out of control."
Molly says the same thing. She gets so country when she's around me. I've been in LA 20 years, and this just isn't going away. It's there for the long haul.
Oh my gosh! All right, Breland, thank you so much for coming.
It's been a blast.
Thanks
for having me.
So freaking fun.
Really
Absolutely.
Fun. Yeah. Just to wrap it up, is there anything we and the Stoners should be on the lookout from you for this year? Are you touring? Are you putting out new music? What's the tea?
I mean, for the international crowd, definitely be on the lookout because I may be sliding out there.
Okay.
And then for the domestic crowd, I'll be around. Got some new music in the works, creating and working on some exciting new projects. So always tap in. I'll be around.
Sick. And if you're Lana Del Rey,
just holler at me. Like, let's work on something.
Lana, hit him up.
Hit me up direct. You don't got to go through people. You know,
or you can go through me.
You could go through her.
Go through me.
I know it'll get to me.
Yes.
Eventually. Absolutely.
I love it. All right, Stoners, we love you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation and Hopetown Entertainment.